Thank you very much, Larry. While the skies may be ominous, there's never a bad day for football. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the New York Giants and the Atlanta Falcons. The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. And off we go from Jacksonville. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. With the way Matt Ryan was throwing it against the Packers, they didn't really need Devontae Freeman's legs on the ground. 14 carries, 42 yards. 42 through the air as well, receiving though.
And that's the key, the 42 through the air, because it tells you that Devontae Freeman is a multi-dimensional back. And that's exactly what Atlanta needs in their offense. They can spread the field, run it inside with him and Tevin Coleman, or throw it to them as well. But there's no doubt in my mind, partner, that he's one of the best receivers in the league, if not the best. And the argument's going to be short. It's a small sample. Julio Jones right there at the top because of his ability to do everything. Catch it, run it, his strength running patterns. How about the way he knocks people off of routes and continues them and finishes in the end zone?
He did all of that against Green Bay. A beautiful toe tap in the end zone for 1 touchdown. And then stiff-arming tacklers down the sideline. At 73 yards to the house, he was something.
And it's interesting you mentioned the toe tap. People thought maybe his effectiveness would be limited because of a toe injury. We saw no ill effects against Green Bay in the NFC Championship game.
Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved him and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They run, Devontae Freeman. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Keenan Robinson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, 44 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
New York set to take the field. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. Here's a nugget, Charles, on OBJ. This year he had 101 catches. Now 288 for his first 3 years in the league. That ties him with his former LSU teammate Jarvis Landry for most catches for a receiver in their first 3 years in the NFL.
And just think about it this way. LSU is known as a running back factory as well. So wide receivers coming into the league and doing the damage they're doing, absolutely incredible. I do know this. OBJ will tease his former teammate and say, don't forget, we're tied, but I missed a few games my rookie year. If I'd played those games, I'd be way ahead of you.
Now Manning throwing on second down. Caught left side, it's Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, 51 yards. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And the gears will shift here as Atlanta will take over on offense. And speaking of gear shifting, a new change in Atlanta. They're going into a new stadium next year, but what a way to say goodbye to the Georgia Dome, huh?
They closed out in the style that they wanted to, and the way that they played throughout the 2016 season. And I go back to when they opened up in preseason, the first game ever in the Georgia Dome. They threw a bomb on their first series for a touchdown, and it felt the exact same way against Green Bay in the NFC Championship game.
It opened in 92, and you're right, it finishes in dramatic fashion. They come out here in the eye. Time running out here on the play clock. Now Ryan. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. So 3rd and 15 and an extra defensive back in the game now.
Flooding the passing lanes.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there. Ryan to Jones. 55 yards.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the first down and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
We talk all the time about how important it is to have leverage and blocking. It's also a big part of policing up gaps. Did you move someone out of the A gap? Did you move him out of the B gap in order to create space for your guy to run? In this case, all those gaps were shut down.
Yeah, the movement was defensive, and they got him for a loss.
Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you've got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going?
Flushed out right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down in offense.
So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. It's caught. Beckham. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
But that's the kickstarter right there. Eli Manning finding his guy, Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, it's a deadly combination, isn't it?
It really is, but what really makes it work is just how unflappable Eli is with his demeanor, able to maintain his calm and his poise. Because we know OBJ, he can run pretty hot and get excited out there.
Sometimes just one-handed grabs for him.
It doesn't matter what it is. Just throw it up there. He'll go get it.
On 2nd down, here's Manning. And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. Tyson Jackson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down. I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now, can't he?
Yeah, we just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran taken with the defensive given.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time,
pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Manning. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. On 4th down, the Giants call on Brad Wing to punt it away. Back deep for the Falcons is Eric Weems. This is taken around the 12. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15.
Matt Ryan was incredible against Green Bay, wasn't he? You talk about locked in, throwing the football. Just absolutely incredible. 4 touchdown passes and ran one in. And that put him in some pretty good company there for some other guys who've done the NFL playoffs.
Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, and then there's another one who's done it. Who's that?
Tobin Rote, 1957 Detroit Lions.
Yeah, so those guys, the only 4 with 4 touchdown passes and a touchdown run in the playoffs. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Sometimes it looks pretty simple, batting the ball away. But oftentimes there's some pretty good teaching and practice that goes into it. Being able to get to the receiver, not interfere, and get his hands through the football and knock it away.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Back deep, it's Odell Beckham.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Again with a juke. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here. They'll begin the drive with Rashad Jennings. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. Manning to throw on 2nd down. It's hauled in by Shepard. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
This is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but... I love seeing pick 6s.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Here's Eric Weems now on the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They go play action here on first down. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. But first Sanu, 4 seasons in Cincinnati where he never won a playoff game. Now in Atlanta, off to the Super Bowl.
It's a nice change for him, isn't it? And it's the one that every player is looking for when they change franchises. And for him to do that his first year in Atlanta, but he also brings a lot of life out wide as a receiver. And then how about when he does the changeup as a Wildcat quarterback and can carry it inside?
Yeah, just an extra component to an already powerful Atlanta offense.
Partner, that defensive win reminds me of something a coach of mine used to say all the time. If you really want it, you'll find a way to go get it. And the defense did exactly that.
Here's Ryan. Connects with Sanu right side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
I know exactly why I tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. Second and 10 now. Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And the yellow flag hurts this offense, and now they face a tough third down. On third down, Ryan. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And Bryant's kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now out come the Giants. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. On play action, now Manning. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to air one out. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. Here's Brad Wing now, as he's on to punt for New York.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session, but coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Play clock winding down. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up here and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Keenan Robinson, the one that got him down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same.
And got his man complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 78 yards. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. And I think I saw that right. You tell me if I'm wrong. That was just a fly route, just to go. He went.
Sometimes speed, just pure speed, is going to win. I don't care how athletic you are on the other side of the ball. When a guy's that fast and he can just take off, if the quarterback has time to throw the ball and release it when he wants to, that's the end result. Nothing you could do about that. He was just a better athlete on that play.
The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways.
And now the rookie's free. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Roger Lewis, 71 yards. And the Giants have tied it here, and they can take the lead if they hit the PAT. And he's able to put it through. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And here now come the Falcons. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's Ryan to throw. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And now it's a 3rd and 4 situation for the offense.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he he read that. As soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
A really nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And that'll bring up second down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Damon Harrison continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. Third and long. It's Ryan. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Beckham. Call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They run again with Jennings. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across. Hey, Charles, you give me water. Jeez, Chuck, they cut off the halftime show again. Quicker than anticipated, ready for the start of the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Jennings. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Jennings. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, the tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on, because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it. And how about that on 3rd down? So many different directions an offense can go. Throw it out wide to the receivers, get it to their speedy running back. They changed up everything and handed it to the fullback, and he surprised them all and picked up a 1st down.
Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop. Manning to throw on 2nd down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. So the Giants now are going to turn it over to their field goal unit. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the 2nd half?
Most of the time in the 1st half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the 2nd half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And that'll be incomplete. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And this is Gabriel on the catch. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Beckham, the return. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Manning. He finds Beckham complete. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Throwing on first down is Manning. Drops it off in the flat to Jennings. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. This is Jennings. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down. Shotgun now for Manning. Surveying the field. And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now Ryan on first down. His throw incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. We got a breather here to talk conference championship games for a second, and the games were not close at the end. I know some people wanted really tight games, but you have to respect Atlanta, New England. From the word go, dominant.
And not only were they dominant, it was against teams who came in as the hottest teams in the league. Green Bay had won 8 games in a row. Pittsburgh had won 9 games in a row. New England, Atlanta, as you said, right from the start, established their dominance and continued it throughout each game.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. Here's blitz coming, and down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 20. Oh, what a move. Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set. They begin the drive with Jennings on the ground. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
And this is going to be incomplete. Will tie the intended receiver, and it's 4th down. Here's Brad Wing now. He's been terrific so far. Taking it about the 16. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before and realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well.
else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. On
2nd down, here's Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people.
Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A big play there on the catch and run. 74 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And here we go on 1st and goal. They'll try to run now with Jennings. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
Manning. And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the G-men have taken the lead here in the 4th. And that will make this a 4-point game. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
So the pressure was coming. Intentional grounding is the call, and that's a 10-yard penalty.
The pressure you noted, Brandon, came so fast. Quarterback wasn't able to get outside the pocket to ground the football.
Now it's Ryan. He's going to loft one deep left side here. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
They go play action for Jennings. Now Manning finding time. Great protection underneath for Jennings. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 34 yards.
After that nice game there, for the rest of the game, the defense is going to have to respect the running backs as passing threats as well. Not just play them strictly to run the football. They may be able to get downfield and catch it too.
it's Jennings. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And ready now for 2nd and 9. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On 2nd down, here's Manning. And here the hookup good to Victor Cruz. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And the Giants' all-time leader in passing yards and completions and touchdowns, just another connection.
No doubt about it. That's the Eli Manning we know, pushing the ball downfield and with proficiency.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. About 3 yards there to the 27. Brooks Reed with the tackle. Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. Manning to throw on 2nd down. Cruz has it over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Here's Jennings. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Play action. Manning looking for someone to throw to. Incomplete. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the 1st on 3rd. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And Gold is able to put it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
And this will be caught at the 30. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 46 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Sanu with a grab over the middle, and he's brought down. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. Simple slant route, and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. Getting it out left side to Sanu. A gain of 6 there on 1st. And let's see what the defensive coordinator may have up his sleeve here to try to get this final last stand and win this football game. 4 yards remaining now on 2nd down. Throwing again, Ryan. He's got time, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Olivier Vernon in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did. Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I guess they're thinking their hands were tied, but in the fourth quarter, that field goal, it really might not help them much at all.
Yeah, I mean, you still need a touchdown. Another field goal does you no good, so it'll be interesting to see what the media reaction is if the score stays where it is.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And a nice spin into some open field. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they'll go on the ground. And able to fight forward. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. A couple extra defensive backs are in there. Big play, 3rd and goal. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.